Tonight, thousands of people gather at the state capitol for prayer. Who led the giant ceremony today? Also, grading the state of Illinois. We take a look at how well the state scored in the agricultural, industrial, and transportation areas. And the dangers of extreme heat. Hear from those who have to work outside every day.
It has been a hot and muggy day here in central Illinois, but the good news is some relief is on the way. I'll let you know when it arrives and how long that relief is going to last. The news in HD starts now.
Central Illinois' most watched newscast. WAND News at 6.
November's presidential race is drawing the attention from one of the country's most popular evangelists. WAND's Ed Cross shows you why Franklin Graham is urging all voters to head to the poll this November.
Greenfield, Ed Cross, WAND News.
Here's more of what's making news. In Edgar County, a car crash this morning claims the life of a Central Illinois man. The name has not been released yet. According to the state police, he was driving a pickup truck on Illinois Route 1 just south of Paris. When the truck swerved into the other lane, a semi-trailer was coming in the opposite direction, moved over to the right shoulder in an attempt to avoid impact. Both, though, hit head-on. The man died at the scene. Police say he was not wearing a seatbelt. An investigation is ongoing. New at 6, in Champaign, police say a man posed as a maintenance worker at an apartment building and robbed a resident. 24-year-old Travis Williams was arrested for the robbery. Happened Thursday when Williams announced he was working for maintenance and reportedly entered an unlocked building, took money and a credit card from a resident's wallet. When the same resident saw Williams, he attempted to get his stuff back and was hit by Williams. He's charged with residential burglary and robbery and could face between 4 and 15 years in prison.
Also new tonight, in Macon County, a father is in custody after police say he planted drugs on his son's backpack to avoid arrest. An anonymous tip led police to the 1200 block of North Edward, where they learned a boy was possibly carrying drugs and a gun. When police located the pair, they say they ran off and that the boy tossed the backpack in a neighbor's yard. Police say 32 grams of cocaine, 84 Xanax pills, and a stolen gun were in his possession. 33-year-old Bernard F. Norvell, Sr., is charged with armed violence and contributing to the criminal delinquency of a minor. In an effort to try and end gun violence and juvenile violence, the Boys and Girls Club of Danville is holding a peace walk on Friday. It's in honor of Devin McClyde, a former member of that club who was shot and killed. The walk begins at the club on North Griffith Street in Danville at 1. Members are asking you to wear red, Devin's favorite color.
It has been a very hot and sticky day here in central Illinois, and even some thunderstorms have fired up. Let's get right to live Doppler 3D Max. Most of the activity now along and to the east of I-57. We've got a cluster, though, basically right around the city of Effingham. There was a significant weather advisory in effect until 6:15 for the southwestern half of Effingham County, as that cell you see there near Edgewood is slowly lifting its way to the north at about 10 miles per hour. There's also what we call an outflow boundary. It works kind of like a mini cold front that's set up right along U.S. Route 51. We're feeling the gusty winds outside of the station from that little boundary, which could still spark a few showers and storms. Temperatures coolest in the east, warmest in the west. Again, that's thanks to the rain-cooled air across portions of east central Illinois. So you add the current air temp in with the humidity. Here's what it really feels like to our body. We're talking about heat index values still up to near 100 in our western counties. No issues in the east. So for the rest of this evening, we'll call it partly cloudy, very, very muggy, with temperatures staying in the mid-80s through about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. And as we head overnight tonight, we'll see temperatures dropping back into the 70s. There is some relief from this heat and humidity on the way coming up. I'll let you know when it arrives and how long it's going to last. But first, Kathleen joins me, and it's been a hot and muggy day today here in central Illinois. A lot of people have to work outside, and how are they beating the heat?
Yes, you already said it. It's hot, it's sticky, but what about those who work outside in this excessive heat? Now, I talked to 2 construction workers who says this is not their first rodeo when it comes to working outside in these conditions.
I passed out a couple of times.
A scary situation that now has carpenter John Morthland paying more attention when he's working long hours outside in the heat.
It's pretty miserable. We try and bring lots of water, try and stay hydrated. We try and start early.
Starting early as he possibly can. Today beginning construction at 6 a.m. and working until about 2 o'clock.
This particular job, you know, we've got the sun coming over about 2 o'clock in the afternoon is when it gets really, really hot out here, and there's really no shade. We're in the direct sunlight.
Jeffrey Bess says he isn't too worried about the heat, saying he'd much rather work outside than inside.
Well, I like working outside anyway, so it's all right. I mean, it ain't bad.
You don't mind it?
No, I don't mind it.
What would you say is the worst part about working in the heat?
Probably the humidity.
We keep stuff with us in our trucks and stuff to be able to stay hydrated and stay cool.
Now, I also spoke with Dr. Phil Barnell from St. Mary's Hospital, who says if you are working outside in these conditions and you start to not feel well, take a break and don't try to overdo it. Reporting live for WAND, Kathleen Cohen.
All right, Kathleen, come inside. Get where it's cool. How about that? More details for you now. With temperatures in the 90s, the chance of getting heat stroke goes up. Heat stroke's when your body cannot release the heat inside. It affects your brain, causing disorientation. Listed on your screen are the symptoms of heat stroke: warm, dry skin, lack of sweat, rapid pulse, confusion, unconsciousness, high fever, throbbing headache, nausea. If you notice a person with these symptoms or you're feeling like this, you, after being outside too long, certainly get a medical attention immediately.
Coming up, a new report puts Illinois to the test after the break, grading the state, how well Illinois scored when it comes to the industrial careers. Also, the results might just surprise you.
Central Illinois' most watched newscast. WAND News at 6.
State's economy gets mixed marks in a new report on manufacturing.
The report shows the state outperforming its neighbors in some areas, but falling behind in others. WAND's Joe Straussy explains how that could affect jobs here. Joe.
Yeah, guys, that report is the Logistics and Manufacturing Report Card from Ball State University and the group Conexus, Indiana. It gave Illinois an A grade for logistics and the ability to move and store goods. That's better than most neighboring states, but Illinois also got D grades for taxes and unfunded liabilities on government bonds and pensions. Still, the state's workforce beat out some neighboring states with a C grade. Local leaders say that is key.
You can give a business land for free, a building for free, no taxes, but if they can't get the workers and workers with the experience, they're not coming here. Decatur has the workers, we have the support industry to help support those manufacturers, all those things. And then you add the logistics opportunity on top of that and the market reach, and we have some significant advantages.
One other note, the report also graded states on the cost of worker benefits, such as worker compensation. Illinois got a C, beating out Indiana and Wisconsin. Governor Rauner and others have pointed to worker compensation as a problem for the state's economy. You can find a link to the entire report online at WANDTV.com.
More details now. As we've been reporting to you, every day without a budget, the state loses more money. Today, Illinois Treasurer Mike Frerichs says Illinois loses $2.6 million a month. According to Frerichs, the state is avoiding long-term investments because of the uncertainty of which programs will be funded and when. Frerichs says the state could miss out on $31.2 million this calendar year in potential earnings.
Well, on the weather now, hoping for some relief, but when it comes to the heat, there's always the guarantee of 3 degrees.
Yes, and we're going to talk about that now. I went for a high of 90 today. I actually scratched out 90 earlier last night, put 89. I was like, I'm going to go back to 90.
Well,
and
I
good
think
thing
you might
I
have
did.
made the right decision.
Forecast high today, 90 degrees, and it's exactly where we ended up. Another green check mark, another $50 in the bank for Relay for Life, up to $500 so far for the month of June. That makes it 32 days in a row.